In this video, we're going to discuss question tags. A question tag is a short question that comes at the end of a statement, like a tail, to check or query information. It's like saying, "You understand this lesson, don't you?" Here, "don't you" is a question tag. When we use question tags, there are rules we need to follow. Let's look at these rules. The subject of a question tag is usually the same as the subject of the sentence. They're fine, aren't they? Here, they is the subject of the sentence as well as the subject of the question tag. Or, it could be a pronoun that refers to the subject of the sentence. For example, Samia wore a pink dress, didn't she? Here, she refers to Samia. We add a negative question tag to a positive sentence. So you'd say, "You are a student, aren't you?" Here, are is positive, while aren't is negative. Or, "You liked the film, didn't you?" Here again, the sentence is positive, while the question tag is negative. We add a positive question tag to a negative sentence. For example, "You don't like fish, do you?" Here, don't is negative, while do is positive. Let's look at another example. It wasn't raining, was it? Here again, the sentence is negative, while the question tag is positive. The question tag should be in the same tense as the sentence which it follows. A present sentence is followed by a present question tag. For example, "You study at university, don't you?" Here, study is a present verb and "don't you" is a present question tag. Likewise, a past sentence is followed by a past question tag. For example, "They played well, didn't they?" Here, played is a past tense verb, and "didn't they" is a past question tag. When a sentence contains a modal verb, we use the same modal verb in the question tag, as in, "You can swim well, can't you?" Here, can is the modal verb, which is used as can't in its negative form in the question tag. "You won't be late, will you?" Here, won't and will are the modal verbs. In present sentences with a be verb, we use am or am not, is or isn't, and are or aren't in the question tag. For example, "It's warm today, isn't it?" Here, is and isn't are be verbs. In past sentences with be verbs, we use was or wasn't, and were or weren't in the question tag. For example, "They weren't at home last night, were they?" Here again, were and weren't are be verbs. In sentences with verbs other than be or modal verbs, we use do, don't, does, doesn't, did, or didn't in question tags. For example, "She writes well, doesn't she?" Here, the main verb is writes, while the question tag is doesn't she? Another example is "They don't travel often, do they?" where the main verb is travel, while the question tag is do they? One more example. "John broke the vase, didn't he?" where broke is the main verb, while didn't he is the question tag. In sentences that contain a helping verb, we use the same helping verb in the question tag. For example, "You do understand me, don't you?" Here, do is the helping verb, which is used in the question tag as don't you? Another example is, "We don't stop here, do we?" where don't is the helping verb, which is used in the question tag as do we? Another example is, "She has played in the national team, hasn't she?" And you haven't been to Alaska, have you? When the verb have is used as the main verb in a sentence, we use do, don't, does, or doesn't in the question tag. You have an exam tomorrow, don't you? Here, have is the main verb, and don't you is the question tag. Another example is, you don't have a pair of scissors, do you? When the verb have is used as a helping verb, we use have or haven't in the question tag. You finished your project, haven't you? Here, have is the helping verb. So the question tag is, haven't you? Look at another example. He hasn't been here, has he? Here, hasn't is the helping verb. So the question tag is, has he? In sentences with have to, has to, or had to, we use do, don't, does, doesn't, did, or didn't in the question tag. For example, we have to reach home by 7, don't we? Here, have to shows obligation, and the question tag is, don't we? Other examples are, you don't have to rewrite everything, do you? And she had to complete the task, didn't she? With sentences starting with let's, we use shall we as the question tag. Let's go home, shall we? Of course, let's is short for let us, and us changes to we in the question tag. Another example, let me help you, shall I? Here again, me changes to I in the question tag. Questions starting with shall I can be rephrased to add a question tag to them. For example, shall I carry your books? Can be changed to I will carry your books. Shall I? And now it's your turn. Try writing some question tags yourselves. Look at the first sentence. You should eat healthy food. What's the correct question tag? Here, the correct question tag is, shouldn't you? Look at the next sentence. We had a wonderful time. What's the question tag? It's, didn't we? And in this sentence, they haven't finished writing yet. The question tag is, have they? I'm sure that you now understand how to use question tags, don't you? Please go on to the self-assessment below to check how well you understood the material. Once you submit, your answers will be checked for you automatically.